What's for dinner? It's heard in every house around the world, I think. Mr. Mom is here to answer that question.
What is for dinner tonight?
Dave Lilja is here, and he has a cookbook out. It's called Mr. Mom's Favorite Family Meals. And you're going to cook us a meal. Show us how easy it is.
Yes, today we're going to cook buffalo shepherd pie. Yes, and you did hear that correctly. It's buffalo shepherd pie. And
it looks like ground beef to me.
It looks like ground beef. It's lean like ground beef. It's equivalent to 95% lean ground beef. Typically will cost about $1 a pound less than ground beef, but the flavor is 10 times what any ground beef you could doctor up.
Really, because I think people kind of believe that it might be gamey or rough, but no.
Absolutely not. If you didn't tell anybody you were eating buffalo, no one would ever know you're eating buffalo.
All right, then.
So to do this meal, we're going to take a pound of ground buffalo, and we're going to brown it. So we're just going to set it in the pan here and let that go at it, okay? We are, in the meantime, I got a little pot of water going because we're going to steam our cauliflower. Now, you say cauliflower.
Shepherd's pie.
Yeah, but what we're going to do is we're going to steam it and we're going to mush it and mash it just like mashed potatoes. And if you don't tell your kids it's cauliflower, they'll never know the difference.
Oh, you're one of those sneaky guys.
Yes, I'm a sneaky guy. We're going to give them vegetables without knowing they have vegetables.
All right, so we're going to steam the cauliflower, right?
We are going to steam the cauliflower. So this is a very large head of cauliflower, but we're just going to take it, we're going to take it and put it into fourths. We want to speed up the time a little bit. So I got just a small pot of water here. We're going to put them down, stem side down, and we're just going to throw them in here any way we can fit it. And throw the lid back on and let it steam. And we want to steam that until it becomes mushy.
So for a while, more than 5 minutes probably,
yes,
right?
It's usually an 8 to 15 minute process, depending on how much cauliflower, how hot you're going to get it, etc.
Okay, so this is what the cauliflower looks like, all mashed up, and we have our volunteer masher here doing a really good job for us. Thanks, David. All right, so next, spray a little cooking spray in this casserole dish.
Yeah, well, I'm a big proponent of making things easy to clean up, and that's the reason for that. Any kind of non-stick spray. If you don't have that, take a little oil and just rub the inside of the pan with it. Our ground buffalo is now completely cooked, so we're just going to spread that out evenly over the bottom of the pan here, okay? All right. We're then going to take our chopped carrots, and we're going to just put them in like so.
About how many carrots?
The recipe calls for a cup. Right there was probably about 1.5 cups of carrots. Okay. Use less, use more. If you want a little variation, throw some broccoli in, steam some broccoli.
Some peas, maybe?
You could throw some peas. Okay. Any kind of vegetable that really your family likes, go for it.
Basil I see you have here.
Fresh basil, or I guess this is not fresh basil. Fresh basil is preferred. About a teaspoon of basil. Just throw that over the top. Little salt, little pepper.
Notice he doesn't really measure when he cooks, but in the cookbook he does have measurements written out.
Yes, there is measurements, and there's one thing for the recipes in our cookbook. Don't be so concerned about the actual measurement. Okay. Because, unless you use 2 cups of salt, which don't ever use 2 cups of salt.
For anything.
Yes, there's really no wrong way to make it, okay? If you prefer more basil and you just want to throw it in, throw it in.
Okay.
Okay? So, and then we have our cauliflower here, and you have options. In the actual cookbook, it calls for a cup of fat-free milk. Now, you can use the fat-free milk. You could use half and half. You could use fat-free half and half. I just add a little salt, little pepper. If you always have your choices in salt and pepper, I would always use fresh ground salt, preferably sea salt. It's a great flavor. Mm-hmm. Fresh cracked pepper is always great as well. So then we're just going to take this now. And
could you use potatoes if you wanted?
You could absolutely use potatoes. There's no question about it. So you can see this just looks like a mashed potato here.
It does. It looks just like it.
And we're going to just simply scoop it all out. And by the way, if you have a blender at home, you can puree the cauliflower in a blender. So we take the cauliflower, or just throw it around. Then we're going to take some mozzarella, shredded mozzarella. And again, I call for about 1 cup of mozzarella. So we're just going to sprinkle it over the top, like so. We're then going to cover it. We're going to bake it at 350 degrees for about 25 minutes. We're going to pull it out, and we're going to have dinner.
Sounds great. All right, let's get it in the oven.
All right.
It cooks for 35 minutes at 350.
And as you can see, the shepherd pie is done. The cheese is melted. The cauliflower looks like potatoes.
As it should.
We have carrots. We got everything in here that we need. Okay.
Awesome.
And
Now, this looks like a very healthy meal. Is that kind of something you try to do with the recipes in your cookbook?
we do. We're not after to make everything, 100% healthy and delicious, because sometimes those two don't go together.
Right, right.
The big thing is this. Everything in this cookbook, gluten-free is a hot word right now, and everything in our cookbook can be made gluten-free.
Can be converted.
Absolutely.
Okay. This is gluten-free.
This is gluten-free right here. Yeah. Pretty much, like if something in the recipe book calls for pasta, you can use gluten-free pasta, but most of the recipes are gluten-free and can be tasted by anybody.
Okay, the cauliflower is better than potatoes, I would say.
Yes.
Really good. Okay, it's Mr. Mom's favorite family meals, and you can go to MrMomsCooking.com. He's impressed with himself.
Yes.
Dadtastic, right?
It is dadtastic. Yes.
All right, so go ahead and go to his website for more recipes and for hints, drinks, all kinds of
Yeah,
things.
and if you have got questions, shoot me an email. I'd be more than happy to steer you in the right direction. If you want to know how to cook something, let me know. I'll help you do it.
Dave, Lilja, thank you so much.